It's not a pretty picture when it comes to housing data for January.
The U.S. housing market is feeling the squeeze. Pending home sales dropped to an all-time low in January.
6.92%, the highest level that we've seen in 20 years. Now, those sky-high mortgage rates are pushing potential home buyers to the sidelines, and that's keeping the pressure on the rental market.
Just 1 week left in 2024, housing remains a key issue heading into the new year. Consumers will continue to try to navigate both of these things. High mortgage rates, though, and high prices.
How bad is this shortage, really?
I am tired of misinformation in the real estate market constantly spreading. This video is not about religion, politics, or anything of that sort. Just pure facts. First, let's answer what my objectives for this video is. My objective for this video is to inform the average consumer and condense this information to make it understandable so you can make an informative and educated decision on the current real estate market. To make this video more digestible, I'll have a timestamp in the description below. To understand the housing market, we have to understand that the market is a broad term that is comprised of many different factors. Jobs. In a statement from the National Association of Realtors, it states, layoffs or the fear of potential job losses can cause home sales to decline. Conversely, strong job creation can signal steady demand for home purchases, as would-be homebuyers gain confidence and the equity required to buy. In addition, job losses can force homeowners into foreclosure, boosting the inventory level and placing downward pressure on home prices. To put it simply, when people are in fear of where their next paycheck will come from, they are also in fear of making one of their biggest purchases that they may ever make. As we know from our high school econ class, the world works on supply and demand. Thus, the concept of this fear causes low demand in the market and potentially high supply. Not to mention, without job security, many people who are already homeowners can come into difficulty keeping a roof over their head, again causing more fear and uncertainty in the market. In an article from U.S. Wealth Management, it is stated that in January 2025, existing home sales declined 4.5% compared to December 2024. Maintaining an annualized sales price of just over 4 million houses, that figure is considered historically low. As stated by Rob Howarth, Senior Investment Strategy Director with U.S. Bank Asset Management, the combination of rising home prices and elevated mortgage rates mean that housing affordability remains a meaningful problem. This statement leads us to another point that is relevant. Many people are familiar with interest rates, and many people know how incredibly high it has been. But most people don't know how much financial difference it actually makes. Let's look at some examples. Before we do, I'd like to quickly mention we are only looking at principal and interest. This does not include property tax, which also continues to rise, or insurance or any other expenses when it comes to the process of purchasing and maintaining a home. If we look at a $250,000 house at a 6.76 interest rate, which is the current interest rate as of making this video, the monthly cost would be $1,623. However, if we look at a 3% interest rate, we can see this price go down to $1,054. This is a 54% difference. Similarly, if we look at a higher price range at $500,000, a 6.7 interest would be $3,246 a month. However, a 3% interest to this would be a $2,108 a month expense. Interest rates are interesting as it affects both the buyer and the seller. As the buyer, you don't want to be stuck with such a high interest rate for a prolonged period of time because a $250,000 house feels more like a $300,000 house, or more with expenses and interest. As the seller, you have to take a step and think beyond selling your home. Will you be able to get a good enough deal to justify selling your home and getting another one at a higher interest rate and most likely a higher price? Fear. Fear is a term that describes an emotional response to a perceived threat or danger. Fear dictates the market to a high extent. As previously spoken in this video, if you are fearful of what's to come, then you are less likely to jump the gun making a decision to purchase a home at a time of such uncertainty. I mean, something as simple as even egg prices bring so much fear into people. Imagine adding a house to the mix. The market determines the market. What I mean by this, when analyzing and understanding the market, we have to look at details such as how fast houses are selling, how long houses are on the market, and how much houses are selling for. Now, the questions that many of you may be asking: should you buy a home in 2025? This is the part where we go into my professional opinion. As a realtor licensed in Virginia, I think there are a few points to consider. There's always opportunities. I've seen so many properties in places that I know for a fact will increase in prices in the next 5 to 10 years, especially in the areas that I specialize in Spotsylvania and Stafford County. Just because interest rates are high now doesn't mean it will necessarily stay that way. Many people have opportunity to refinance at a later date. Meaning that if you find a house in a nice area that may increase in value, it might not be the worst idea to invest in it financially for you and your family. Point 2. People don't have a choice. With renting prices continue to go higher and higher, some people find it in their best interest to purchase a home and build equity rather than spend that money on renting. When thinking of purchasing or selling a home, we have to look at more than just the surface. As a realtor, this is so important and vital to my job. We have to think of the motivation behind the action. We have to think what our clients will gain and lose beyond today. We need to think 5, 10, 15 years down the line. Most people are making this decision hoping it will be their last time purchasing a home. To summarize, use this video as a talking point with your realtor as to what decision makes the most sense for you. We owe you a fiduciary duty to do things in your best interest, and I'm a huge believer in that. Number 2, use the lessons in this video to make an educated decision at what's right for you. Number 3, don't be afraid if you don't know information. That's what we are here to do, is to help and professionally guide you to the best decisions. There's also nothing shameful or wrong about educating yourself, no matter what stage of life you are in. This was Jonathan. Thank you for your time. Have a good day.